Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome to DC Worlds Collide. I'm going to do some videos on this. I really enjoy this game quite a bit. I'm not new to these type of games. I played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for quite a few years till I just got way bogged down. Just such a time suck with the Zetas and the mods and the Omegas, and it just was just way too much. Played a little bit of Marvel Strike Force and was just recently playing DC Dark Legions until I switched over to this. I like this game a little bit better, a little bit more hands-on. I like the fact that I don't have to be on here at 3 o'clock on a Saturday for a 3-hour event. I found that to be very annoying and just not working for, home life. Whether you're just a camper or someone who likes to spend your Saturdays or Sundays out on the water, or if you got a family and you got kids you're taking to practices or games, that just doesn't seem very practical. So, and then I started this on launch and I've liked this, and so I'm going to come at you from a different perspective with this game though. I'm not great at these games. I read these kits and a lot of them go over my head. So if you're looking for that, I would suggest hitting up Mr. Squirrel. He's fantastic. He's got great information and he will help you out a ton. He's who I watch. And I think it's helped me out quite a bit. I'm going to come at you from a free-to-play, non-spender perspective. I spent $2 on this game. During the first 7 days, if you spent something that gets you 50 diamonds, you get a free copy of Green Arrow. And so that's what I did. And so that's the only money I spent. So I won't call it free-to-play because it's not technically true, but we'll call it non-spending. So this is what my non-spending roster looks like. And this is what I'm going to showcase. Probably about 2 or 3 times a week, maybe every day if it seems like there's enough content. I don't know if, without spending any money, if there's enough to push out, because sometimes I do my dailies and then I'm done and it's 15 minutes, So we'll see how it goes, but I'm definitely want to bring you along on this journey just to see how a non-spender keeps up, not only in the game itself. How do you keep up in your leagues? If you got guys who are a bunch of whales and all of a sudden you're lagging behind, or they're going to be like, hey, it might be time for you to go. There's all kinds of obstacles as a non-spender or free-to-play that we have to deal with, and I'm going to cover those, and we'll go through them together hopefully, and just see how they go. Maybe we'll help each other. I'm open to any suggestions or comments that might help my roster. Right now I have this AoE team that just happened to work out that way, but as a non-spender, I have 3 legends. You look at some of these videos, these guys got 10 legends. We just can't compete with that, and we just can't keep up with that. But this is what we look like. This is how we play the game, and so that's the perspective I want to give. Just to give you a quick overview, this is my AoE team. I got Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Bane, then I run Lex, who I did through the fusion, and then I'll either run Kid Flash if I need something with survivability, or if I'm doing something like the recovery chapters where I need to get rid of people quicker, I can throw in Constantine there for some extra firepower. My second team I'm going to work on is Block. It just happened that Nightwing came along for the ride. He was my original other tank before I fused Lex. But the minute I realized I wanted to make a Block team, I knew I needed another tank. So I fused Lex. So now I have Nightwing, Ocean Master there. Oh, I forget his name. Bloodsport. I was going to call him Sharpshooter. And Vixen. And then I'll need a DPS for them, who maybe I'll use Constantine. I don't know, we'll see, until I can get Blue Beetle. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I need a second team quick because I'm at 32, and I know, I forget if it's like 32 or 34, somewhere in there, I'm going to start needing a second team. So that's kind of a quick overview of where I'm at and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So like here, I'm hoarding. I'm waiting for them to make Blue Beetle the guaranteed legendary so I can get him, because that'll finish off the Block team. But I can't spend these as much as I like and as much as I need it, because I need these purples and blues, because I have enough for Nightwing. I have 80 Nightwing. I just don't have enough purples. I'm 16 short. So, but that's kind of the things that are going to be fun to deal with, and the things that kind of maneuver as free-to-play and non-spender. How do we do this? The patience you need to not only stick with the game, but not spend any money if you don't want to do that, or if you can't, or do you do it? I look at some of these deals, and the only one, and maybe I'm wrong and I'm reading this wrong, but the only one that makes any sense to me is this one. It's $3, so it's relatively cheap. You know, maybe I do it every other payday, or twice a month or something. Even though you can, I guess, do it every week if it's weekly. But these 10 pulls are big. Artifacts are hard to come by. These are hard to come by. So getting 10 of those for $3 plus 120 diamonds seems like a decent deal. And then you get, so it just seems like a decent deal. That would be the only thing I would think about spending money on. Other than that, I'm going to bring you a non-spending, free-to-play perspective to this game. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it's something you like to watch. Let me know in the comments. And like I said, suggestions and tips. I'm doing stuff wrong. I know I'm doing stuff wrong. I can tell you right now, I shouldn't have pulled for Guy Gardner. That was a mistake. Those are mother box pulls I could have used on these guys up here. Maybe I shouldn't have pulled for DCU Superman, even though he's a good character, but I could have used those pulls to have these guys done already and already be more on my way to my block team. So any tips and suggestions, or maybe I'll show you something that might help you out. I don't know, but that's kind of my goal, and that's what the perspective I'm going to bring to these videos is just a non-spending / free-to-play perspective on how we manage the game and how we get through the game. I hope you'll join me as I go through this adventure, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you all down the road. And I'll see you at the next video. All right, guys, have a good one.